Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania morning Hundoke. And today we have Reverend Margaret Sisterson presenting on this Wednesday, the 15th of April 2026, or the 28th of February in the 14th year of Chongilguk. So thank you all for coming, and let's begin with a bow to our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, Chanji Champuninge. Chongbai. Paro. And let's recite our family pledge both in Korean and English.
하전맨세 5. 전급 주인 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 전산세계와 대산적 지산세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 5. Our family, the owner of Chongilguk, pledges to strive every day to advance the unification of the spirit world and the physical world as subject and object partners by centering on true love. Thank you. I'd like to share today True Mother's Prayer at 2024 HJ Cosmic Blessing given on the 24th of April 2024, almost a couple of years ago. Most precious Heavenly Parent, here at the World Centre, the 2,100 couples who have come into your embrace, the blessed couples, good men and women who have received the blessing through true parents, are pure waters, expressing what was originally your ideal of creation. May their path as blessed pure waters of true love expand endlessly throughout the world, transcending nations, sweeping across the 5 oceans and 6 continents in praise of you, Heavenly Parent. May all the blessed couples who have received the blessing today and are now able to live in heaven on earth with you. Heavenly Parent, thanks to true parents' earthly victory, give birth to many pure waters who realize your dream on earth and convey this news to the 8 billion people of the world. By participating in this blessing event, they will do their best to return the earth to its original state at the time of creation, so that all the terrible things that are happening around the world today, climate change, disease, and natural disasters that are causing this earth to suffer due to humanity's ignorance, will no longer threaten the lives of blessed families. The future of our blessed families is hopeful. Today, 2,100 blessed couples from around the world received the marriage blessing. May they become blessed couples who fulfill their responsibilities, give joy and praise to our Heavenly Parent, experience Heavenly Parent's love on earth for all time, realize Heavenly Parent's dream here on earth and there in heaven, and live for eternity together with you, Heavenly Parent, and true parents. Therefore, please accept this day with joy. May you receive glory. May the blessed couples fulfill their responsibilities and missions wherever they may be. I pray that these couples who have received the blessing, particularly in this era, in an environment wherein they can directly attend and live with Heavenly Parent, will form blessed families of whom history will be eternally proud, and who will inspire their descendants to be filial sons and daughters and loyal patriots. I pray and declare this in the name of the true parents. Arju. Thank you. And before we welcome up Margaret, we'll like to share this praise song. So please enjoy.
우주를 넘어 들리는 소리가 나의 마음을 두드리며 울리네. 가진 것 모두 다 바치시는 부모님의 사랑을 알게 되었지. 목숨 걸고 우리를 사랑하시기에 부모님을 넘을 수가 없네. 그 사랑은 나도 느꼈기에 부모님을 알고 더 닮아가시네. 참 어머님을 사랑하는 자녀들이
True mother,
모였습니다.
children who love you have gathered here for you.
저희는
Mother,
어머님의 사랑을 너무나도 많이 받은 찐게 자녀들이옵나이다.
we are direct children of yours.
어머님의 사랑이 저희의 사랑이 되어서
We will
반드시
make our love as your love and make absolute victory. Mother, we love you.
시간을 넘어 뜨거운 사랑이 나의 마음을 둘러싸는 눈물이 가진 것 모두 다 바치시는 부모님의 사랑을 알게 되었지. 목숨 걸고 우리를 사랑하시기에 부모님을 넘을 수가 없네. 그 사랑을 나도 느꼈기에 부모님을 알고 더 닮아가지네. 넘을 수 없는 사랑이 임할 때 당신의 모든 것들을 심었을 때 살아가는 나를 보시며 행복해 하시는 부모님 얼굴 영원히 잊지 못하리. 목숨 걸고 우리를 사랑하시기에 부모님을 넘을 수가 없네. 그 사랑을 나도 느꼈기에 부모님을 알고 더 닮아가지. 목숨 걸고 우리를 사랑하시기에 부모님을 넘을 수가 없네. 그 사랑을 나도 느꼈기에 부모님을 알고 더 닮아가시네. 목숨 걸고 우리를 사랑하시기에 부모님을 넘을 수가 없네. 그 사랑을 나도 느꼈기에 부모님을 영원히 기억하리. 차렷 경례 바로
Thank you, and let's welcome up Margaret. She's here. seem to see her there. That's a message of any change. Just Wednesdays are meant to be this citizen couple. Interesting. Yeah, not even the other couple that's going to allow the Rommel or Judy. Just give me a moment. See if I can get something. Doesn't look like they're here, so I'll just go through this. Something that I had probably shared before, but I'll share it again. So this is a message my mother. 1 second. Okay, as you can see, this is a message that Mother gave the global worship service for a victorious entrance into Chongwon-gun. This message Mother gave on the 7th of February 2025, so a year ago. So I'll just go through this message again. I'm sure you remember, but it's always good to receive again. So, beloved, blessed families and members around the world, I offer my deepest gratitude and glory to our Creator, Heavenly Parent, for giving us this wonderful day when we can really welcome the 13th year of Cheongguk. Due to the wars and conflicts arising over the 6,000 years of human history since the fall, humankind could not experience even a single peaceful day. And as the Creator had to complete the heavenly providence, how difficult and grueling must it have been that through the chosen people, it took 4,000 years to form the nation of Israel, beginning from the level of individuals through families, tribes, and a people. So really, when we think of the magnitude of the fall, how it took God 6,000 years to bring us where we are today, but it took 4,000 of those biblical years just to bring about a people that could give birth to the only begotten Son. So this it's not a simple thing. I'm sure God wished that it was be easy to save Adam and Eve, but it was out of God's hands because He gave us responsibility, and really we don't recognize that. I think the the amazing grace that this responsibility is, and how fearful it is, because we can't blame anybody else except ourselves with the situation of the world, because it's people, us, humanity, that has shaped the way the world looks today. After 4,000 years, Heavenly Parent finally brought about the birth of Jesus Christ, who was conceived through the Holy Spirit. Yet Mary and the people of Israel could not fulfill their responsibility. Considering the reality of his conception through the Holy Spirit, and even though wise men from the east followed a star to find him, there is no record of the date of Jesus' birth. After waiting 30 years and knowing he would not be able to complete God's will, Jesus began his 3-year public course. In the end, Jesus died on the cross, yet he said he would come again. The apostles who had been resurrected through the Holy Spirit waited for Jesus' promised return, and thus the 2,000-year Christian providence began. And so this Mother is really helping us to see and recognize, that it took so long to receive Jesus, and it took because people had to figure it out themselves on their own, through their own responsibility, to recognize that God was working. And even though step by step things moved forward, they were always undermined or complicated, and so it took longer and longer. But finally Jesus was born. The Mother is highlighting, he was such a God's only begotten Son, and yet there's no record of the date of Jesus's birth. Christmas date, 25th of December, is just a celebration day. It's not his birth. And I'm sure there's records in history of the births of many famous people, but why the date of Jesus is because they didn't understand. Mary and the people of Israel could not fulfill their responsibility. And that's a really hard thing for God to watch, after waiting 30 years. And so the 30 years of Jesus's life as well, there's not many records in the Bible of what happened, but we know that both Father and Mother have said that Jesus's life was that of suffering, and he suffered for 30 years, waiting for his family to understand and fulfill the responsibility and to help and protect him, but they didn't. And in the end, he began his 3-year public course, and it was 3 years because still the people didn't accept him, and he ended up going to the cross. So this is really a sad history for the origin of Christianity, and so 2,000 years it began, with this understanding that Jesus would return, and they were stuck with waiting for the return, as we know, and not focusing on the marriage of the Lamb. So though there was much persecution in those early days, Christianity eventually received recognition from the Roman Empire and spread throughout Europe, from the Italian peninsula and worldwide, centered on Britain. This opened the era of Atlantic civilization. However, they did not know Jesus's essence. They did not understand why he said he would come back, or that he would hold the marriage supper of the Lamb when he returned. Eventually, They went out to witness under the pretext of representing Jesus, but the era of the Atlantic civilization, in which nations prioritized their own interest, came to a close. So it took hundreds of years, almost 400 years, for the Roman Empire to finally have Christianity declared as a state religion, and pretty much the whole time was that of persecution. Christians were being killed and slaughtered and sacrificed and burnt to the stake and crucified. So many things, so much persecution in those early days. But eventually they were recognized. But they were recognized 400 years later. We have a situation where we're trying to get true parents universally recognized around the world, through the 8 billion plus people recognizing who they are in the lifetime of our true parents. Of course, it'll happen in the future. Hundreds of years later, people will go to museums and look at the sad history and think, how could we have done such a thing? The future will be bright and there will be the kingdom here, but it's up to us to usher that in a lot sooner than later. But it's always down to humans, our responsibility on how quick that takes place. And it always, happens with passionate, inspired people who understand their responsibility and try to practice it. So it will happen. I mean, we know through history that Christianity became a global, and it is today, but it's in decline because people don't know the purpose of Christianity. They've missed it. As Mother said, they did not know Jesus's essence. They did not understand why he said he would come back, or that he would hold the marriage supper of the Lamb when he returned. We know because we're following true parents and we're blessed, and we have the responsibility to help those that don't know understand about the real essence of Jesus, the real essence of Mother, the real essence of our true Father, the real essence of our Heavenly Parent. And we know this because of our true parents, who also had to suffer in spite of the ignorance around the world. According to the principle of creation, only when the only begotten Son was born, his counterpart should also have been born. However, this could not come through the people of Israel because they remained a nation with a debt of indemnity for the death of Jesus. Through our knowledge of history, we know what kind of indemnity they paid. Because heaven cannot trust fallen humanity, another chosen people was selected and raised. This is the Korean people. The birth of the only begotten daughter had to take place in a Christian environment. And we know that the Korean people's long history of 5,000 years was always dedicated to heaven. And when Christianity came to Korea, it came completely differently than any other nation that accepted Christianity. Every other nation was a result of being evangelized by other nations. The whole colonization of many continents during this period, initiated by the English, but then also Portugal and Germany. They had their time going to many nations, and we know in Oceania, they came and settled and started to say, well, this is how you live, and then started to make many mistakes in the nations they colonized, because of the assumption that they knew what was right to do, because they were there through the power of heaven. But as we know, with Korea, it was a different story. They heard about what was going, and then Koreans went and studied in China and brought back Christianity, people. So very different from a colonizing nation trying to impress. When the missionaries did finally come to Korea, they found a nation that had already understood about the story of Christ, and they were surprised that there were already churches erected waiting for the return of Christ. And so that was a very different and evidence, one of the many evidences indicating how Korea was a chosen nation. And as we know, because of our true parents, the birth of the only begotten daughter, occurred in Korea. When works of the Holy Spirit were occurring in the Protestant church centered around Pyongyang, through the devotion of many who received these revelations, the only begotten daughter was born in 1943. However, at that time, Korea was under Japanese colonial rule, and when World War II ended in 1945, the country was divided into North and South, democracy and communism. Because heaven had brought about the birth of the only begotten daughter, who would see the completion of the providence according to the principles of creation, God had to allow her a growing period through which she would mature. And so we know the stories surrounding the circumstances of our true mother and our true father in Korea, and the occupation by Japanese colonial rule, and how brutal it was, equivalent to the worst of the treatment of any nation in any time towards Christians. We know the horrific stories at the time of Christ and Christ himself going to the cross. The Japanese rule was equivalent, and in some circumstances even more brutal. And then 1945, it could have been a turning point. Korean Christianity and together could have ushered in a whole different era under our true father, and we would have seen, if that had succeeded, we would have seen no need of unification church, because Christianity would have been the vehicle through which the expression or the revealing of the return of Christ would have happened. But that wasn't the case, even though God set up an American and as the wife of the Korean president or prime minister at the time, and Christianity was all focused towards this emerging, changing time in history, because Korea was liberated at that time, and only just spent a short 3 years independence before it was split, and the Korean War, we know, in 1950 began. And so this the tragedy of to God's plan, it kept on happening, and so God was determined, as to as it says there, allow her, meaning the only begotten daughter, a growing period during which she would mature. And as we know, mother did, and at 17, as a mature daughter of God, became true parent. However, Korea fell into crisis at that time. How was it that troops from at least 16 UN nations, member states, took part and shed righteous blood in that conflict in a small, unknown country? It is because heaven was with us and protected the only begotten daughter. From birth, I grew up knowing God as my parent. Because I knew that my responsibility was to fulfill Heavenly Parent's dream on earth and see its completion, in 1960 I assumed the position of true parent. Though I was still very young, it is true that we went through difficult times. So Mother is explaining that time, and when we were in Korea, we had the opportunity to go visit the Gapyeon Memorial, for Australia and New Zealand, and we went there several times. But I remember one time going with President Hori and Reverend Yutaka and Reverend Kenji, going to the memorial in Gapyeong and seeing the interesting memorial. Usually you go to a memorial and there's just one focal point, but the one in Gapyeong was really unique. They had one end of it was for Australia and the other end of it was for New Zealand. And it was jointly looked after by the people of Gapyeong, and we could see how the Australian and New Zealand forces protected that area and were able to hold off the communist Chinese for a few days, and therefore enable the American troops to come, and the course of history changed. And unfortunately, as we know, that Korea is still divided today. And yet, during all of that time and sacrifice going on, Mother was born, and Mother was protected by our Heavenly Parent. And Mother in 1960, together with Father, became the true parents. And that's an amazing feat under such terrible circumstances around. However, I waited patiently and persevered, and finally proclaimed the foundation day of Chongelguk. Throughout human history, including the history of religion, everything has been male-centered. The principle of creation is about man and woman. The Creator is also the Creator, Father and Mother. The only begotten daughter was the first to reveal this. Thus, with no one else understanding the providence, I walked alone and proclaimed the firm settlement of Chongelguk after establishing the condition of restoring 7 nations, 7 religious orders, and a continent. And so really, it's true when we reflect that it's only Mother that revealed, the essential essence of the mother nature of Father, of our Heavenly Parent. And even though we studied principle and we always clearly said that we're created in God's image, male and female, and where there's a dual system of give and receive, and the relationship between a man and a woman, I'm still amazed that it never dawned on me the logical truth of, well, of course there's an only begotten son, there must be an only begotten daughter. And it's still, it was only when Mother said it that it became, wow, oh, that's true. And such an obvious truth, only with Mother revealing it, it's when now we accept it without any thought. But at the time, it wasn't there. It was all male-centered. It was all male-focused, and not really sharing the heart of heaven as a mother who embraces and loves and gives birth. God, the Creator, I mean, I see it at a Heavenly Parent, dual roles. The Father creating the heavens and earth, and Mother giving birth to the children of God. And that's really still the circumstances today. And then Mother finally, after many arduous and difficult course of suffering was, and as we know, the 7 nations and 7 religious orders and the continent of Africa was proclaimed, and Mother was able to settle and open Chongalgup. However, that alone is not enough. Heavenly Parent's dream and humanity's hope is to live in the kingdom of heaven on earth. Therefore, you blessed families and Chombo families cannot remain where you are. You must fulfill your responsibility. True Mother, the only begotten daughter, cannot do everything by herself. I pray that all of you will become the blessed families that, together with me, will create a greater, higher, and broader environment in which people can attend Heavenly Parent. And really, that's it. I mean, this was at the blessing time. Mother was sharing really explaining that blessed families are the children of heaven, the children of our true parents and our Heavenly Parent. And we and many of us have become Chombo families, and we must fulfill our responsibility, because responsibility is the only means by which the world changes. When we make the dream of the past the reality of the future, and that's always been the way things are. So the prominent dream that should be fulfilled is Heavenly Parent's dream, and that's been always the hope, to see the kingdom of heaven on earth, which is a land that is at peace, in harmony, and loving everyone. So it's really inspiring to know that we are in this time, and we're part of the people that are working together with Mother. And even though we need to recognize our own inadequacies and incompleteness and all of that, still we are placing the step forward that will build the kingdom for all eternity. So all our collective small steps become the bigger step. Will create a greater, higher and broader environment in which people can attend Heavenly Parent. So as we expand blessed families, more and more people will be attending. As Director General Song Yong Chong of the World Missions Headquarters said, in your prayers and devotions, you must establish the tradition of offering prayers with gratitude. In my name, the person praying of a blessed family attending Holy Mother Heart. So that prayer got changed many, many times, and many, many different versions of it. But the current latest version, is of the type where we say, in attending Holy Mother Han, I pray in gratitude in my name, John Adamedes of a blessed family. That style, placing Mother first and then offering the prayer in our name. I know it came out with praying us first and then Mother, but it got changed. But I know it's still a confusing point. Do we say in attending Holy Mother Han before we say in my name? That was the direction that was the last to come out. But I know other people still say in my name and then attending Holy Mother Heart. But I think it really doesn't matter, as long as we have the heart that goes with it. It's always the heart that has the true intent that helps us to fulfill the responsibility that we have. So in creating an environment in which all people of the world can attend Holy Mother Han, the pure water must fulfill their responsibility, whether they are first, second, or third generation. Okay, pure water basically are blessed. So you got blessed first gen, you got blessed second gen, you got blessed third gen, because the second and third are automatically blessed because they're born from a blessed couple. So Mother here is saying the pure water must fulfill their responsibility, whether they are first, second, or third. This is the only path to realizing one family of humankind attending Heavenly Parent and a peaceful world without war or conflict. I bless all of you who are united with Holy Mother Han to receive heavenly fortune as you move toward that day. And that's a crucial line Mother is saying there. I bless all of you who are united with Holy Mother Han. So it really comes to how much we have, Mother in our heart, how much we are moving and motivating ourselves because of having Mother in our heart and of course, our Heavenly Parent, and that's the key, because Mother is alive here on earth. When we unite with her and work with her, then we receive heavenly fortune, and that helps us to realize the substantial Chongal Guk. And that was actually the last slide of this message that Mother gave, or the extract that I've got here anyway. And for us to recognize that Mother has a lot of hope in us as blessed members. And so, we have the promise of attending Holy Mother Han, and we are getting comfortable with, that prayer, in attending our Holy Mother Han. I pray in my name as a blessed family. And so that really, that prayer is highlighting the fact that we are living together in this amazing golden age, and we don't know how long that will be. I heard news, maybe some others heard news about Mother having an operation, and that was successful. And I pray that her time in the hospital really does help Mother regain her health, and all her medical issues are completed successfully, and that Mother can, be freed, as we don't know when. We keep praying over and over again and hoping that the next day will be the day. Obviously, in the future, the next day will be the day, but we want it to be now instead of later. And so our prayers, our action, our responsibility to helping 8 billion people of the world understand about our true parents, really comes to fruition. And thank you, everyone, and for coming here to our morning hundok, where we can reflect about our true parents, and especially about our true mother, and that all our efforts really do make steps to her release, really do make steps to building God's dream. And we know that we need to connect together and really follow the dream that our true parents have been explaining to us, and not to feel, oh, how come it's not happening yet. Will happen. But we need to remember it took hundreds of years from the birth of Christ to the nation accepting Christ and Christianity as a state religion. And here we are at the global level already, while our true parents are still alive. So already, time has sped up, and let's hope that we can really make even more impact in the world today. So thank you, everyone. I'll just stop here now, and I Hope everyone has a great day, and open it up to anyone that would like to make a comment or please do. Maybe before the comment, as usually I've got a praise song. I'll do that. I'll bring up the other praise song. Just 1 minute. This other one open, that's annoying me because that's the previous song. 1 second. Yep, that's the one. Yep. Okay, so please enjoy this.
우리 기다리신 어머님,
Our true mother who has been waiting for us.
저희들은 어머님을 지켜드리겠습니다.
We will now protect you, true mother.
간절한 마음으로 제가 올려드리겠습니다. 한순간도 잊지 못해 오늘도 저 밤하늘을 보내 나 눈을 뜰 때부터 잠들 때까지 떠올리네 우리의 약속을 그리워 잊지 못하네 그리워 눈을 감아 보네 내 생이 다한 날까지 지키리라 우리의 약속을 길 가운데 걸어가네 당신과 걸어간 그 길을 멈출 수가 없네 어떤 시련에도 떠올리네 우리의 약속을 그리워 잊지 못하네 그리워 눈을 감아 보네 내 생이 다할 날까지 지키리라 우리의 약속을 내 평생을 바쳐 당신께 드리리 내 평생을 바쳐 당신께 드리리 멈출 수 없네 가야만 하네 포기할 수 없네 오랫동안 기다려 당신을 위해서 내 평생을 바쳐 당신께
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the message. If there's anyone who wants to make a comment, they can. If not, I know time is already past. Yeah, that's okay. I can just bring up and we can do our unison prayer. I'll do that. That's all right. Let's go back to here and move it along. There we go. All right, so let's offer our 7-minute unison prayer together. Okay. Jew, Jew, Jew. Thank you everyone for coming, and I hope everyone has a great day, and see you all again tomorrow. So thank you. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for the speech, John. That's a really nice, good speech.
Yeah.
Precious.
Yeah. Good to remember and think about again and again. Yeah. Thank you.
All
Anyway,
right.
bye-bye.
Have a lovely day, everybody.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
too. Yeah.